knew him very, very well. He's said to be one of the closest associates and friends of the late Abiola Ajimobi. He's a former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Oyo State. And here in the studio with me this morning, I have Asiwaju Mutalibu Ojo Adebayo. Asiwaju, you're welcome to the program this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
It's nice to have you here.
Same with me. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so I'll be discussing the legacy and politics of Abiola Ajimobi with you. Let's start off from this point. Now, beyond the public eye, who would you say Abiola Ajimobi was?
Thank you so much, Senator Isiaka Abiola Adeyemi Ajimobi, the immediate past governor for your state, the unprecedented James Breaker, who did 2 terms as governor. I always call him, he was the father of the modern Oyo State. The father of modern Oyo State. Mr. Transformation, Mr. Restoration, and Mr. Repositioning, better known as Mr. Quality. He was a great man, an icon, a worthy role model, a mentor, my confidant, and my benefactor. But above all, he was a statesman by excellence and a quintessential gentleman.
What made Ajimobi the father of modern Oyo State?
Yes, many factors. But I'll just, because we don't have more time, discuss very few of them. One, before May 29, 2015, he became governor. He was sworn in on May 29, 2011. I'm so sorry, 2011. Before, up to 28 May 2011, Oyo State was what you can call a state of nature, where life was brutish and very short, nasty and short, to quote that great political scientist, Thomas Hobbes. Brigandage, thuggery were the order of the day in Oyo State. Lawlessness. Oyo State was being ruled as at that time by charlatans. No, they took over the reign of governor in the state. That life was not safe throughout the state. There were robberies, there were assaults on innocent citizens. That it was not even safe for anybody to carry out its normal life activities. That was the position in Oyo State until Senator Abiola Ajimobi became governor. And when he became governor, he said the primary and the sole responsibility of any government is provision of security for lives and property. That you must be able to secure life of your citizen and also the resident in your state and their property, because it's only when you are secure that you can think of working or think of enjoying the defense of democracy. So the bedrock of any governmental activities is security. And he knew the challenges we had in Oyo State at that time, that the security was almost collapse or a total failure. So he drew up an actual security for the state, a new arrangement. And I'm able to say, and we all live here, that throughout his 8-year tenure, Oyo State was ranked as the best in terms of provision of security of lives and properties for citizens and residents of Oyo State in Nigeria. So Oyo State was ranked as the most peaceful state in the country as at that time. And throughout the 8 years, there was even no single bank robbery in Oyo State. No single bank robbery.
So was it security? That made
that's
Oyo State modern?
That's why I say, because what I'm saying, that he restored the pride and the glory of us as citizens of Oyo State. Before he became governor, if you are a citizen of Oyo State, you have gone to other places outside the state, and when they introduce you as it's from Ibadan, or it's from Oyo, it's from your state, or from Mumboso, people say, these people, they are here. Oh. The garrison commander. You see, we lost it until he came back and he restored that value.
Ashwaju, don't you think you admirers of late Ajimobi were just too generous in giving him that moniker, father of modern Oyo State? Security, you have mentioned.
Yes.
A state that could not pay salary as and when due. A state that had its university, the university that was co-owned with Osun State, shut down almost forever. A state that could not conduct local government elections. A state that still had quite a huge number of dilapidated roads. What was modern about Oyo State in the 8 years of Ajimobi outside of security?
I've also talked of that he restored the lost glory of the state and the pride in the citizens.
In what sense?
Because when he was governor, we all feel proud to introduce ourselves as citizens of this state.
We were not proud that salaries were not paid on time.
Let me explain. When Senator Ajimobi came in 2011, and up to December 2015, salary was being paid regularly, 25th of every month. And also, for 3 years, Senator Ajimobi paid workers 13-month salary, full 30-month salary, which was unprecedented in the of the state. The closest to it was done by Central Roger when he gave workers the 50% of their 30-month salary. But in December 2014, Nigeria economy went down because the PDP government at the federal level, led by the former president Goodluck Jonathan, lost control of the ship of the country, and many states will go for meeting at the FAC meeting to get their monthly allocation, and severally it could not be paid. So not only your state, because the money was not there, and state has to strategize and how do we solve it, because the money was no longer forthcoming. You should ask, why was the money being paid? Why was salary being paid from June 2011 up to December 2014?
But there's still no money now. There's still no money now. The country hasn't come out of recession yet. No. And the present governor is paying salaries.
The present president, Muhammadu Buhari, look, I'm not a politician who will not say the truth. You get my point? I've had cause to castigate the president whenever they took some wrong policies. But you see, this government was sincere and transparent. Since President Muhammadu Buhari came on board, there has never been a single time state will go for, commissioners of finance of state will go for fact meeting and they will come back empty-handed. It has never happened. No state is being owed any money. And also, you realize that he has even given palliative to several states to help them in meeting their obligations and commitment to citizens. Yes, we are now technically in recession, but states are still getting their dues and allocation from federal government, unlike what happened under Goodluck Jonathan. Most states were on the ground, including the federal government. Then,
did you think
not that the money was there and then the government was stopping? No, certainly no.
Did you think Oyo State was truly modern by the standards of modernism?
Thank you. Let me now explain. I've talked about security. I've talked about restoring the pride. For example, for the first time since the state was created, Oyo State has a state anthem now. It is very important, and also has a logo, a brand identity.
Do those things make us modern?
They matter. They matter a lot. You see, difference of democracy are two: tangible and intangible. Tangible and intangible. For example, if you go out now, people can look at you. Seun Tule is a chief of the block. I know his father. Seun is just like his old man. Look at my point. And there were some people that, who is this? It's unknown. He has no identity. But your state, when we came in, all the states in the southwest region had identity. Ogun, state of Osun, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos. They had their brand and logo. We went for a dorm meeting. We only Oyo State don't have. And when we came back, Sergeant was surprised and he advertised that project. Said no. People call several companies, PR companies submitted entries, and we came out with that logo. Later, he also came out with state anthem for the state. You've heard about it. The Aswa Juniwa. You'll be proud of all those things that I'm from your state. That's what I call restoration.
Okay.
And again, your state was the death Ibadan. Used to be the dirtiest state. The dirtiest state in the entire country. When Adima became he tackled it along and until he left your state, Ibadan is one of the cleanest states or cleanest town in the country. But sadly enough, we are going back to the pre-2015 era.
I'm going to hold you right. I'll hold you right there so I can go on a commercial break. When I come back, we'll continue the discussion on the legacy and politics of late Isiaka Ajimobi. The podium returns in a moment.
FM 94.9.
I dey think, oh, where the load go come from? I dey think, oh, I look up, I look down, I see phone for my hand, eh? Oh yeah. Express for express load, na shop bank, oh, eh.
Hard life no dey pay anybody o. That na why EcoBank land with Express Loan wey everybody fit get, wey dey save with Express Save. Dial *326# to open your own Express Save account today on top your phone. Bang bang bang, you don open am, no wahala. And with Express Save, you go fit get boku chance for Express Loan.
Express Save for express loan, na shop bank, oh, eh.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Now the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
In order to matter, matters of the state must matter to you.
If some people are crying that they are in darkness, they should go and hold those who vandalize the installation.
Let me say that the political crinkle.
Stay tuned to politics on 32 FM 94.9.
Thank you for staying with me. The Podium on 32 FM is live, and my guest is Asiwaju Mutalibu Ojo Adebayo, a former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Oyo State, and a confidant of the late Governor Isiaka Ajimobi. We're discussing the legacy and politics of the late governor this morning to commemorate his posthumous 71st birthday. Now, Asiwaju, Ajimobi was criticized while alive as a high-handed leader at some point, especially during his second term. Did you think Ajimobi was really high-handed sometimes?
That is not true. No, people allege, and they actually commented that they said he was arrogant, not high-handedness, that he was arrogant. You see, what do you mean by arrogant? You want to be proud. You know my point? If people cannot meet or live up to your standard, they consider you as being arrogant. And that was what I call inferiority complex. You see, Senator Ajimobi is a man who did not suffer fools gladly. He was not a pretentious human being. He will always say it as things were. Very blunt to a fault.
And lacking diplomacy?
What do you mean? Diplomacy is fraudulent. It's a fraud. You should call a spade. Instead of saying, this man is a thief, if I say he has sticky fingers, you are deceiving him. Tell him to his face that you are a thief.
But as a leader, are there no times you should apply diplomacy? Look, you are still saying the truth.
You apply wisdom, not diplomacy. You apply wisdom.
Did he apply wisdom?
He applied wisdom. He applied wisdom, not diplomacy. Like I said, diplomacy is fraudulent. It's a fraud.
Including when he addressed those Lautech students who came on a protest.
You see,
when he asked them, shame in Moti school.
Thank you, my brother. You see, politicians, most of them they don't have conscience and they're ungodly. If you watch that video clip from the beginning to the end, you will say that in the end, the students were praising him, but they edited it out just to achieve or to score political goals.
But was that statement necessary initially?
It was.
The way he interacted initially with them, was it necessary?
Look, I said that's why
Did I close your school?
I said that's why I said it was edited and tampered.
The attempt to even scare some of them
by some mischievous. Look, he said, "Look, listen to me. I'm old enough to be your father. You listen to me. If you've come here to complain to us as a government, and I abandoned the meeting I was doing, and I came here to meet you, that shows that I had interest in your grievances and I'm ready to listen to it." But later, the students appreciated him. They sang his praises and even followed him to his office. But the mischievous and some shenanigans people edited it out. And most of it was most unfortunate. Go and look at that, at the complete clip of that video, and you understand what I'm saying.
Did you think that at some point in Ajimobi's manner of communicating with people, he could have done better? Did you think there were moments he could have done better? No, did you think there were moments he could have said it better?
Let me say this. It was Umami, you agree?
Absolutely.
So it was mortal. It was not God. Human beings are fallible. Only God is infallible. We are bound to make a mistake. The attribute of God it is only Him who cannot make mistakes. So what are we talking about? But like my Oga Ajimabi will say of blessed memory, he said, if we make mistake, let it be mistake of the head and not that of the heart. Do you know the difference? Mistake of the head are human, but when you make a mistake of the heart, it was a deliberate and what he called treachery or that's tricky and fraudulent as well, because that mistake was premeditated and it came from your heart. That was so if your mistake is of the head and not of the heart, so be it.
At some point in his government, Ajimobi and the derisive alias Arobafi, what happened with the Olubada institution? Since you are an insider, what was going on in his mind? Why did he make that move?
I was at 2011 to 2015. I was not there during the second time. And I've said it, and I've written an article on it. I've said it, I've posted it on social media, and I've said it on several radios. Nobody has come out to contradict my assertion. That idea of what I would call restructuring or reformation of Olubada Chief Title emanated from Ibadan Progressive Union. They wrote a paper to the government then, not our own government, Senator Rashid Ladoja. And it was later part of the Olubada Council. And I made book to say as well that when Baba was there, the immediate pastor Olubada, Oba Odulano Dugade, may God continue to bless his soul. A committee was set up to look into that position paper. And that committee was led by Chief Mwalekuye, now also of Blessed Memory, who was the chairman, and late High Chief Olaifa was set on that committee. And they adopted in totality the report of that committee. Only one man, only one Baba out of the Olubada Council did not append his signature to that report, and that was Baba Osunbade then. Baba Balogun then, Baba Omiyale of Blessed Memory. All others signed, but because the Olubada immediate was at this Olubada too also signed, because it was also a member of that committee. Baba Odugade, because he was advanced in age, he was far. Baba was just too old, so he could not preside for that report to be adopted by the Olubadan Council. So when Ajimobi came, some members of the council came to him. I said, look, I will call Baba Kuye. The wife is alive. Mama Chief Priscilla Kuye, former president of the Jamba Association. She's alive. And you can verify this fact. Baba led them. Baba Kuye said, Biola, Joe, Bawa, Be, Kini, Kujaku Dimuse, Kini, reformation. And I said, I'm going to look into it. And he set up a commission of inquiry. But that was a mistake. What is
you agree you made a mistake there?
He was human. We all make mistake every day.
But did you not advise him?
What they ought to have done was to have sent that report to the council
to ratify it.
To vote and ratify. Then I can bet you, maybe one or two of them will have disagreed and to have become
binding.
Or not. Remember that model was in the best interest of Ibadan and Ibadan land. It was in the best interest, but for some cheap political reason and for mischief reason, some people chose to play politics with it. And most of the people that are playing politics with it, they don't even know what it contains.
But can you blame those who play politics with it? When you also have said that the governor made a mistake to set up a commission of inquiry.
The panel, the report was there already.
Yes, I agree. You said that.
That panel, that report, which they also came out with, they look into it. People submitted memoranda. People presented papers, and they also came back. But what I said that even that was even needless. You get my point. It was like a surplusage.
But the report had not been ratified by the body that it should be binding upon.
No. The government has power to set up commission of inquiry, but that was even a longer route to take. Do you get my point? It was a longer route. It's like if you are going to Lagos now, and you take Ojo, you get to Oyo, you went to Sugbo, and you now move
to Ife,
and then you get to Lagos. But why not eat the road straight, get to Challenge, get to Toget, and face your Lagos? You will still achieve the same purpose. That was not even a mistake. Rather, I said what he did was a surplusage. But I'm saying that IPU, the Olubadan Council, it was their idea.
But which was not ratified by them.
Because Olubadan was.
And the new Olubadan was not given an opportunity to ratify.
How many members of the council under the present Olubadan did not agree with how many?
But they did not vote on the report.
I said, how many of them? Those two, Baba and my own Baba.
Umiyale.
No.
That you said is late now.
No, I mean
the present council.
Baba, now Osolubadan, Senator Rashida Doja. Only just two of them out of 11. If we are in a decent climb, that was majority. You get my point? It's binding.
But there was no official ratification.
Look.
You also said that the late Olubadan could not preside over the adoption of the report.
Baba was too much advanced in it. I won't say more than that. It was too much advanced in it at that time. The last 2 years of Baba's life, Baba was too much advanced in it.
Let me take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll discuss another aspect of the Ajimobi government and his life as a man. The Podium returns shortly.
32 FM 94.9.
Hello, posh ladies and women. Shawakwa. Introducing to you the very first Posh Line Trade Fair happening live at Liberty Stadium First Gate on the 19th and 20th of December 2020. Emma Logo. So buy our arrivals at a discounted price. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday and 12 noon to 6 p.m. on Sunday. Posh ladies and women. Egberao. Ewa Rasho Gidini ni owo binti. Ni owo binti.
Breakfast your day every day with the nourishment of malt, milk and cocoa and the delicious taste of Milo.
Nestle.
Honestly, good food, good life.
tí wọ́n bá lo ráyéwá nítorí pé o lówó lọ́wọ́ tí wọ́n bá ń tàn ọ́ pọ̀ ráyéwá nítorí dúkìá tó pọ̀ tó ní ọkàn ò tí ì balẹ̀ pọ̀ ráyéwá àlàáfíà lògùn ọrọ̀ ṣáájú ara rẹ o ìlera sílẹ̀ mí gígùn gbogbo àrùn tí ń ṣe ẹ̀dá láyé náà kọ́ láyé fi ń ṣe ni bí dọ̀tí bá pọ̀ lára tí gbogbo ẹ́ńjìnì tásẹ̀ dáadáa bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tó kọsẹ́ má fòyà tó bá ṣe bí ẹni rárá tára rẹ ò ṣe déédéé pinnu ló kan àyà ara rẹ o Veneton cleanser ní kò sẹ́mu agbanugbade fọgẹ̀dẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ara dànù Veneton jagunlabi panko pè ọ̀rẹ́ ara tọmọdé tàgbà tọkùnrin tóbìnrin ló lè lò ọ̀sọ́kùnrin sóbìnrin dòpépé Veneton cleanser atẹ́jẹsẹ̀ maradan bíi kóròsìn Veneton cleanser kìkìdé gbòógì tí ò lọ́tínú la fi ṣe ó ti wà káàkiri ilé ìtajà ògùn jákèjádò ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà a sì ń wá alágbàtà fún Veneton cleanser pé nọ́mbà kò demand 08034051533 08034051533 iléeṣẹ́ ẹ̀mí one naturalist care ló ṣe Veneton cleanser òun láyé tún lò.
When the people became silent,
the government became oppressive. It's time to lend your voice to politics.
On 32 FM 94.9.
The Podium is live on 32 FM 94.9. You can watch me live on YouTube at 32FM 949 Ibadan. At 32FM 949 Ibadan. And with Asiwaju Mutalibu Ojo-Adebayo, a former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice of Oyo State, I am discussing the legacy and the politics of Abiola Ajimobi. And of course, we're looking at his personality. He was a man. Abiola Ajimobi was a larger-than-life figure. And sometimes you look at him, when you read what his admirers, like you, write about him, you begin to think that was Ajimobi an immortal? Was it like Hercules in Oyo State? Did Ajimobi have weaknesses?
And like all human beings.
What were his outstanding weaknesses?
One, he was too blunt. Too blunt. Two, he was generous to a fault. He had make of human kindness in him, too excessive. And also, he will always tell you. In fact, I learned that. I had, and I learned that for him for the first time, that when you whip the poor, please take away the camera. That whatever you do with your right hand, your left hand must not know. Otherwise, that you won't get any word from God. You want to make boast. When you assist people and you boast of it. And finally, look, he was a charismatic leader. Charismatic leader. You look at him, suave, obeying, polished, refined. He has good feelings and very finicky.
A lot of these things you mentioned are not supposed to be weaknesses. They are supposed to be strengths.
He was too
blunt. It's supposed to be a strength.
And again, he did not suffer gladly.
It is supposed to be a strength.
He did not tolerate psychophancy.
You have not told us any weakness.
No, that
bluntness is supposed to be a strength. You defended bluntness earlier.
His bluntness, you people now misunderstood to be arrogance.
Was he really a misunderstood man?
He was a completely misunderstood man. I thank God. People are now seeing the difference.
What is the difference? You want to compare the government of Seyi Makinde and Ajimobi?
You cannot even do that.
Within the first 2 years?
No, I said, where are the basis of comparison?
Run some comparisons.
Where are the basis? The basis are not there. The basis are just not there. It's like comparing the great owl with somebody cerebral Arebesola. No, owl was in a class of his own, just like Ajimobi. What will you compare with?
So was Ajimobi in the class of an owl?
And I say, I'm just telling you, don't compare apple with orange. So comparing Ajimobi to who that person may be.
But the people love Seyi Makinde.
That would be a disservice and uncharitable to the memory of Senator Ajimobi.
But the people love Seyi Makinde. Civil servants are happier.
Some people will love you. Some people hate you.
But when the majority of the people appear to love you,
I also pray and I wish, like my leader will say, that Governor Seyi Makinde should succeed. I want it because I don't have another state.
So how can you say you can't run comparisons? The creativity with the finances of your state.
Where are the basis the state that is running a food economy. Fudu.
How is it a
food
economy?
You see, when you see a man that is drinking this local gin, Ogogoro or Pepetesi, you will see, it will be going bigger. It will be going bigger. And people say, he will have a protruding stomach. They will not die, he's dying. Because that's all, it's a sign. Those are signs of unreadiness. And this is why I say food economy. Don't do that. Our state is technically bankrupt. This state, I'm able to say, is technically bankrupt.
Would that not be on the government of your late mentor?
It's bankrupt in the sense that if a government can borrow from bank to pay counterpart funding of 800 million naira for Ruwasan, and also can approach another bank to borrow 1.5 billion to pay counterpart funding to UBEC. Those are signs that things are not well.
Your government ran that means I don't know this government ran the state aground.
No. Let me.
You are indicting the government.
When we are in the government, we never borrow to pay counterpart funding. You don't need counterpart funding. It's like if you are doing a job, and when it's your turn, you went to borrow to pay a job. You are deceiving yourself.
Whose fault is it?
That
means you left nothing. Left nothing in government.
We had that offer to them, and since to today, nothing has been found against by this government. Nothing whatsoever.
So why did they have to borrow? Why did they have to borrow to fill up their part of the counterpart funding? To provide their own counterpart
fund. That's what I'm saying. That's why you call it the economy. It means the government is broke. It is the government.
Who made the government broke?
No. Let me tell you. Throughout 8 years, Ajimobi.
Your mentor was in government for 8 years.
8 years, including bond, we took a total loan of 91 billion naira. This government, by December, will be
no foreign denominated, foreign currency denominated.
Entirely, it amounts to 91 billion naira. This government, a year and 6 months old, this December, had borrowed 41 billion naira.
But that
wait, compare our 8 years of 91 billion.
Ashiwaju.
No, compare our 8 years
Ashiwaju
of 91 billion with
Ashiwaju.
1 year 6 months of 41 billion.
That you access a loan does not mean you have utilized it fully. What if you just have the line and you've not utilized it?
If you are banks will have a drawdown date. If you access a loan from bank, you have the time, you have the trade. Keep it at home. That's your foolishness. If you don't use it, the interest will keep on mounting.
If it's an overdraft.
If
it's an overdraft, it is there for you to utilize whenever you want.
The interest, they will have a markup rate.
It is whatever you use that.
No, they can. Let me explain. Because I'm also a student of economics. You get my point. The bank can give you moratorium that they can say, which is very for the first 3 months, we won't charge interest. The fourth month, this way will start counting. So if you keep it for 1 year or 2 months, you don't use it. Like the stupid, the foolish man that Jesus told us in the Bible, who was giving money and buried it. So who are you going to blame? So that's why I said, my brother, don't let us go into comparison. The places are not there.
You think there's no basis?
And please don't let us insult or enjoy the memory of Central Black Baby by to compare the baby with whom? With whom? For God's sake. For God's sake. Is it in terms of ability to analyze issue, in terms of his ability to inspire people, to motivate, to address, and you'll be ready to be glad to listen to him, or in terms of dressing, or in terms of deep intellect? Please.
Okay.
Let us go there.
Let's go to this. I read your tribute to Ajimobi, and in that tribute, you said Ajimobi was a benefactor to many,
including myself.
And you seemed to suggest that Ajimobi was a man more betrayed than he betrayed others.
No, I didn't write that. No, never.
You seemed to suggest.
No, I said that.
When you were talking about people who forget their benefactors.
I said, like you said, that he was a misunderstood man. Very controversial. And I said he was generous to a fault. And was also blunt to a fault. But that people exploited his generosity. They would deny that he was not doing anything for us. He didn't help us. He was too stingy.
That would be betrayal.
Because the man will not tell anybody when he call it betrayal, but we leave them.
That was why I said. Actually, that was why I said you seemed to suggest.
It was not a betrayal.
Now, if you have done good to people, and tomorrow they turn their back on you and they deny the good you've done, right? There's a feeling of betrayal.
Even to God, human being, they do it regularly. And even Jesus was betrayed.
Now, this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going. Did Ajimobi ever betray anybody in his political career?
Never. And if you can cite one.
What about the story about Soji Akanbi and how that senatorial ticket went?
He refused to. He's my girl. Soji Akanbi, my very good girl. I'm very close to him. He was afraid to go into primary with Senator Ajimobi. Look, democracy is a game of number. You lobby, you mobilize.
But Ajimobi never told Akanbi was planning to go to the Senate in 2019.
That it was automatic. In 2023 now, will this incumbent senator now say, because I chose to run and I defeated him primary, I betrayed him. Which type of it's not your father's chieftain title now. It's all family chieftaincy.
But were there no political understanding among people? Was there none between Ajimobi and Soji Akanbi?
Not at all.
Ajimobi said it openly that 2019, after my second term as governor, I don't want anything again.
He said so.
And there were reports that Soji Akanbi got the nod of Ajimobi that he would be supported.
Look,
to retain his senatorial seat. Did Ajimobi not betray Akanbi?
He never betrayed him. I'm a Yoruba man. Yoruba, our elders will say there are three things you don't advise your friend not to do. You don't advise your friend not to marry. You don't advise him not to go for his father chieftain's title. And you don't advise your friend not to have children. Do you get my point? So if you've come to me now, say, sir, I want to go for a second time. I wish you well. I'm not there. Ajimobi was not the umpire. So the party was the umpire.
Ajimobi had his plan on along.
In 2015, when we were about to do second time, Ajimobi contested primary with Dr. The son to Alhaji Lamadesina, the Dr. Adesina. At Liberty Stadium, it was open and transparent, credible. That man lost.
How do you promise a man support and then you now turn around to go for that same seat?
I said if it were to be Senator Soji Akanbi's family chieftaincy and a promise to support him and a back out, yes, I will call it a betrayal. But this it was not a chieftaincy title. Look at our candidate, Barad Labu, the gubernatorial candidate. There were too many people who showed interest. In the end, he emerged as the candidate. Even against the preferred candidate of Senator Ajimobi, Dr. Ejida Joseph Tebe. So where was the betrayal? Some people are being economical with the truth, and they're not being sincere, and they're too petty.
I will come back after the commercial break. We're going to pick one more issue of Ajimobi with some of his political associates before he died. What really went down and what is the true story? You'll hear it from Asiwaju Mutalibu Ojo Adebayo, who is an insider in the Ajimobi political circles. I'll be back after the commercial break. Please don't go anywhere.
FM 94.9.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
What's happening in Ibadan? A new sheriff is in town and his agenda has 4 points.
Oh yes, he does.
Fast.
Check.
Convenient.
Check, check.
Safe.
Check, check, check.
Affordable.
Check, 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 check.
Ibadan.
Your safe border is here.
Get 20% off all rides for the rest of the month when you ride with Safe Border.
Safe border, safe Okada.
The Safe Border app is available for free download on all app stores.
When the people became silent,
the government became oppressive. It's time to lend your voice to politics.
On 32 FM 94.9.
Safasa pelisizo simnyama Iwasafa Isizo saba Yavula mo Halijani mo Kalize Wenhaye we modo Safasa pelisizo simnyama
Ashwaju, Dada Wole left the APC angrily.
Yes.
Dada Wole was interviewed in this station, and he said it very clearly that Ajimobi made him a promise. He promised him that he was going to support him to get the ticket in 2019. We have it on record. And that all of a sudden Ajimobi turned around. In fact, he said initially the agreement was that he could also run for governor, and he said he got a very, very tangible commitment from Ajimobi. And then later on, when he saw that the governorship thing would not work, he went back to the governor and said, okay, would you support me to at least get a return ticket to the House of Representatives? And Ajimobi promised he would. Then all of a sudden, the political hierarchy restarted, and then he had to back out. He felt betrayed by Ajimobi. Was Dada Wole lying?
You see, I always blame the media because talk is cheap.
You can put the blame on us.
No, I always blame you people, and I'll tell you people.
Okay.
Nigerian media personals nowadays are lazy. You see, you must do investigative journalism. Dada Wole was once in the House of Assembly, State House of Assembly. Later, he left for House of Rep. First time, he was there the second time. And you now say, this man supports you against all other contestants or aspirants for that office. That would be unfair. But one thing is that any aspirant, any member of the party that approached this governor, being the leader of the party, for his blessing, he will bless you. It's not blessing that people are now, they are now misconstrued to be support. What type of support? You want financial for him? Or do you want him to rig the primary or the party for you? You certainly no. When you approach your leader, sir, I want to run for Senate. I need your blessing. I wish you well. God make it possible for you. You are good.
Let us strike a balance before you go on, Ashwaju. Yes. The way Ajimobi supported Tegbe was what Dada Wole was expecting.
Why?
Ajimobi went all out for Tegbe.
Yes.
It was clear that Ajimobi did not want Adesoji Eniade. He didn't want Bayo Adelabu. Yes. He didn't want Niyi Akitola. Now, he wanted Joseph Tegbe. Yes. And he went all out. Yes. Why did he not go all out? He gave a commitment to Tegbe. He gave a commitment to Dada Wole. He stuck with one and then betrayed one. According to the person.
My brother, Ajimobi was a man where he was a man who we all know you couldn't find him wanting or accuse him of being evasive. You always know where he stand or where he stood or any issue. Look at my point. How many House of Representative member do we have in the state? 14. How many candidates or aspirants? In the North, where Honorable Adewale contested, we had of more than 10 as party member justly for that post. So why would you look what is he talking about? For God's sake, talk is cheap and people should not be fair. You are there, you won in the House of Assembly, you didn't blame Ajimobi. From there you move to the House of Rep, you didn't blame Ajimobi. Again you move to another House of Rep, you didn't blame Ajimobi. The last one when you could no longer get the ticket, you are not blaming.
But you know the system.
Let me tell you, in 2015,
governors influence party tickets.
In 2015, Senator Ajimobi did not support Awole for that Supreme, and he won the primary, and he also won the election. So what?
But by 2019, Ajimobi had become more powerful. He had consolidated control in the APC
from 2011 to 2015. So nothing changed. But look, his problem was that he had a more formidable person to contend with. In the person of Senator Akremi Jagaban, who was there. Because that one was a grassroots mobilizer and he had greater and better financial muscle, which he could not cope with. So you now want the governor to manipulate the process to advantage. That would not be democratic.
I want to read an extract from the tribute you wrote when you were saying you were out of your hallucination.
Yes.
That you now agreed.
I was a self-denier.
That you now agreed that
truly
Ajimobi had gone for true.
I've come to terms with that reality.
You said you cried.
I wept. I cried. I wept.
Now, this is the extract. You said the cynics and uninformed may mischievously refer to the 2019 loss of your senatorial seat. But few of us that enjoyed your trust and confidence knew that you had told us that you would exit politics totally after your tenure as the governor of your state, and also that you needed nothing whatsoever again. But the leaders of APC pressured and blackmailed you into accepting to run for that seat against your wish, interest, conviction, and spiritual instincts.
Yes.
Who were the APC leaders?
You see, all that I wrote in that tribute, I called the God that I serve as a witness. Truth, the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
Senator might be said openly several times. Look, that his dad had always, his dad was a politician too. He was a member of the House of Assembly.
Yes.
Between 79 and 83. That his dad said, look, be a godly man or a man who has the fear of God must not be in politics after 70. When you are 70, abandon politics. That is, if you want to go and meet your creator in peace and find his blessing. And Senator believe in that. Look at my point. He was not that he was too young to die. 70 years and 6 months. That's biblical 310. And he said, OJ, he told all of us, I don't want anything again. God has been kind to me. I was MD Shell West Africa. I was MD National Oil. I was a senator, governor for 4 years. Even the great Ige, Bolage, could not secure second time, and nobody has done that. He said, I want to have my family back. Let me return to my normal life. But as what Bola Tinubu, Baba Kande, Governor Olucha Okuruta, and several others said, look, they call him Are. They call him Are. For us, we don't say, Are, we all need you in that Senate to stabilize that Senate for us. We don't want the Saraki experience. If you are there, I know most of the governors, all the governors, they respected him and they gave him tremendous regard. During the PDP primary in Edo State, Governor Baseki said before they could start, they must observe a minute silence in honor for President Abiola Ajimobi. Because Governor Baseki said he has never in his life met a more brilliant person. He's alive than Senator Ajimobi. And he was very close to us. And so, Baba Kande, as well as Bola Tinubu, and all the governors, particularly Governor Olucha Okuruta, even Governor Aregbesola, all of them said, Egbo, you can't go. We need you. The party, the country even need you.
So all of them pushed him to abandon the counsel of his father.
He refused. They now beg him. They said, look, one of them, Aregbesola now said, Egbo, do you know that service to humanity is also a form of jihad? That's one of the religious commitment.
Is that the blackmail?
No, that's what the blackmail.
That's the blackmail. Religious blackmail.
That's what the blackmail. He said, when you serve your people, you are also serving God. That you must not abandon people. And he said, you are the one who will always say that a leader must take his people to where they want to be. But a good leader will take his people to where they ought to be. And that was Ajimobi quote. You get my point? And he succumbed to that blackmail. He succumbed reluctantly to that blackmail.
What were the spiritual instincts you referred to?
No,
you talked about spiritual instincts. Did he see anything?
He was a spiritual man. If at this committee, when we were considering memo, all of us will be profiling opinions, rich, engaging, and intellectually deep argument, informed, issues-based opinion. And he also say, gentlemen, I think I agree with some of you. He will give reason, and I disagree with these people. He will give reason. And he said, but please, give me that honor. I pray to God over this thing. And God told me, if we do it this way, it will work. grant me that honor. And if he fail, I will accept responsibility. And believe me, his option will later turn out to be the best. To be the best. That's why I said his spiritual instinct.
Did he have any spiritual instinct? Did he seek the face of God before he accepted to run for Senate?
I said against his spiritual instinct, they appeal to him, they beg him, they use all sorts of moral persuasion to persuade him to run. And he look, you see one thing, there in this life, at times you do things not because at times, but really not because you love it, but because of some other consideration. That's why you might say, Tabatori Sujepo.
Now, did the fact that Ajimobi caved in under the pressure that was applied by these APC leaders not make him a man of weak convictions?
No, you see one thing, there is power in the tongue. That's the spirit. Ajimobi said, God, after I finish my tenure as governor, I don't want anything again politically. And you see, why he wanted to be governor? He said, God, if my becoming governor will not make me to do what will benefit my people, don't let me win this election. And again, he said that. So there's power in the tongue.
So he lost to his own tongue.
And again, you know, you always say that no male member of his family in his lineage has ever reached the age of 80. He prayed to God. God, I wanted to break the genes. Even let me die a day after the 70th birthday. God answered this prayer.
So Ajimobi lost to his own tongue in 2019. What he had said before.
Yes.
But when he lost the senatorial election, you said his father had advised him that anybody who wanted to meet his maker well should not be in politics after 70. Why did he still stay on in politics? Why did he accept to be deputy national chairman?
I said,
could he not have rejected that appointment?
The same people. Set of people.
They applied pressure again.
The same set of people. Believe me.
Ajimobi must be a very weak man.
Wait. You see, respect is
reciprocal against your own convictions.
No, wait. Now I've told you one thing. I've told you some Yoruba proverb now. A Yoruba proverb.
2 times.
Yes.
He tori epo jeshu 2 times. If I use your language, energy not to tori epo jeshu.
You can't even do 3 times. Even Peter, the apostle, when Jesus said, "You betray me," how many times did he betray Jesus? 3 times. And he wept.
Was that not an indication that at some point during Ajimobi's time as governor, he could have been pressured to take some decisions against his convictions?
Ask them. He was a very firm man. He was in control of his government.
But these are 2 examples at the twilight of his life.
No, Ajimobi was not only in government, he was in power throughout. Personally, there are too many locals of power.
Did he become weak after governor? After he left office, he became weak.
He did not.
You said he never caved to pressure while he was governor. But 2 critical instances after he left office. You know, we are discussing the man. We are discussing his personality.
Before he left, the first thing happened. The first one happened.
Yes.
He was governor when they
and
came,
after governor.
And after governor, they now said,
"You've lost the senatorial seat."
The city vice president and the president, they said the party was adrift, and the party has they've lost the control.
So they needed him to steady the ship.
They knew the type of person he is. They said, "We need you to stabilize it."
Should your conviction not be your first religion?
To stabilize it.
Should your conviction not be your first religion?
That's why I said against his conviction and spiritual instinct.
So you agree he was weak when he left office?
No, that's not weakness. That's not weakness. You pay obeisance and respect to some people. For example, now let me give you an example. I may choose, if I'm an investor, I may be investing where I will make profit, and I may consider my hometown Ibadan not to be one of those areas. If the Olubadan called me and some other well-meaning cities of this town, look, it will be responsible of me not to answer their call.
Another commercial break, and when I come, we'll be on the home run on this program. The podium is coming back in a short while.
32 FM 94.9.
Yálùmọ̀ àbí tàgbé, okun àtagbára tá a nílò láti máa ṣiṣẹ́ akọni bí Aluma Bitters tó ń bẹ lárọ̀ọ́wọ́tó mi kì í rẹ̀ mí o. ẹ̀mí wọn naturalist care limited ló ṣe o.
Yaluma Bitters ó yaluma kara yaluma gara ọ̀kasani tó ń gúnmọ́kùnrin kàkà bàjá ṣiṣẹ́ bí àrìrà lágọ̀ọ́ ara àkàmọ́yé gbòógì ni wọ́n fi ṣẹjọ́ Yaluma Bitters tó ń fúnni lókun àtagbára tá a nílò láti máa fakọyọ ṣẹṣẹ akọni kọ́pá yìí ó náà tọ̀tọ̀ kára ó yá gágá Yaluma Bitters ni o NAFDAC fóńtẹ̀lù iléeṣẹ́ mi one naturalist care limited ló ṣe é ó wà nọ́mbà 17 ọba akínyẹlé street off adéogun aláàfin avenue olúyọ̀lé estate ring road ìbàdàn telephone 08052255073 àti 08034051533 Yaluma Bitters ti wà ní chemist àti pharmacy stores lágbègbè rẹ̀ lójúmọ́ lálágbàtà ẹ̀ ń pọ̀ sí Yaluma Bitters káì ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀.
Hello.
Guy, honestly, times are hard. Things are generally expensive and Christmas is here again. The worst is, price is very expensive. I don't know what to do.
Well, I understand your lamentation, but the truth is, now who pass no book. Guess what? You can get a whopping 20% discount on every size and bag of Titan rice you buy. Only at 32FM 94.9 Cocoa House, Dubai, Ibadan. Titan rice is good, not mushy, particles free, rises well, devoid of stones and dirt, and is very delicious. Besides, Titan rice is available at stores and supermarkets near you. So, what are you waiting for? Become a Titan by getting yours today. Contact Titan Farms today on 0906 007 9714. You can also visit our website on www.titanfarms.org. Get active on our social media handles at Titan Farms NG for more information. Titan Rice, your 100% double Sotex parboiled rice.
Don Landio, my people for challenge Orita, New Garage, Felele, Soyo, Gorich, Soka, plus include all the neighboring areas them. Living Proof Supermarket don't stand up gidigba for Felele. Yes, so Living Proof Bakery and Supermarket where they sell all kind daily needs for manufacturer's price, like a provision, beverages, toiletries, beauty products, and Babanla Orishirishi gift items them. Where we say na manufacturer's products you go get anything when you buy for Living Proof Supermarket, especially all of una wey dey gbaladu their sardine bread. Na as e dey hot and fresh, you go dey enjoy am. To get value for your money, no dey follow leg over again o. Na Living Proof Supermarket make you dey patronize. Dem dey opposite Mola Filling Station, Ologbo Road, Eleyele, and their new outlet wey dey former Pinnacle Building along Challenge Road, Idiodo bus stop, Felele, Ibadan. Dem telephone be 080-3545-7120 abi 081-5466-4418. Living Proof Supermarket, na consumer friend.
I dey think, oh. Where the load go come from? I dey think, oh. I look up, I look down, I see phone for my hand, eh. Oh yeah. Express for express load, na shop banka, oh. Eh.
Hard life no dey pay anybody o. That na why EcoBank land with Express Loan. Loan wey everybody fit get wey dey save with Express Save. Dial *326# to open your own Express Save account today on top your phone. Bang bang bang, you don open am. No wahala. And with Express Save, you go fit get boku chance for Express Loan.
Express Save for express loan, na sure banka, oh. Eh.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
When the people became silent,
the government became oppressive. It's time to lend your voice to politics.
On 32 FM 94.9.
All right, it's 6 minutes past 8, and it's been an an interesting time engaging Asiwaju Mutalibu Ojo Adebayo, who is a former commissioner for justice and attorney general of your state, and are confident of the late Senator Abiola Ajimobi. Okay, I have just about 15-20 minutes more. Let's do this. After Ajimobi lost the 2019 Senate election, and then the APC also lost the governorship election.
Yes.
It was alleged that Ajimobi was making a play to become the minister representing Oyo State in Buhari's cabinet. Is that true?
That was not true. In actual fact, Senator Ajimobi forwarded 3 names to the president.
Want to tell us the names?
Adibari Labu, Joseph Tegbe, and Sakios Laboradeji, my brother, who was after Jazz Commissioner for Finance. Those 3 names. Sunday Dare, the present minister, was not even there at all.
So how did Sunday Dare come up? Was that Tinubu's boy? Tinubu?
Yes, Tinubu's.
So Tinubu insisted it must be Dare for your state.
No, in politics, there are a lot of maneuverings, intrigues, and not trading. How it happened, it came.
And Ajimobi allowed it to be. Ajimobi allowed it to be. Adelabu was more or less forced on him.
No, it is the discretion of the president to appoint whoever he wants as minister.
But why should Tinubu nominate somebody from Oyo State?
The president nominated him, not Tinubu. Tinubu was not the president. Tinubu was not the president.
You don't think Tinubu influenced the president's decision?
I believe he must have influenced it. I believe so, rightly.
So what did Ajimobi do when Sunday Dare was picked?
Sunday Dare came after nomination to pay respect to him at home. And he embraced him and he supported him. That's politics for you. But those 3 names were the names that were forwarded. Adibari Labu, our candidate in 2019, Engineer Joseph Tegbe, and Sak Adelabu.
Who forced Adelabu on the APC in Oyo State?
The party ESCO.
The party ESCO in Oyo State?
Especially the state. In fact, they went to meet because all of them,
they conspired against Ajimobi.
With all of them, except one person, said, "Sir, if today we want to go into this election to win, the most popular candidate among all the aspirants was Adebayo Adelabu." All of them.
They told Ajimobi.
And they even went to Abuja.
So they told Ajimobi that. Did Ajimobi agree with them?
He did not agree with them. He said, "Let's go to primary." Then they moved to Abuja. Later they went to the presidency to lobby. You get my point?
And then the presidency told Tegbe to step down.
No, Ajimobi advised Tegbe to step down.
Why was Ajimobi afraid of allowing Tegbe to go to the primaries with Bayo Adelabu?
In politics, you don't contend with some power that be.
So there were some forces more powerful than Ajimobi himself.
Only God is the all powerful. If some forces are powerful than Buhari. So he said the party ESCO here in the state, all of them said they wanted Adelabu. They've gone to Abuja. So what do I do? It will be different if I have the support of the state ESCO of the party. Then, you get my point. But our fluff that they allowed them to go for primary.
Did Ajimobi truly support Adelabu?
He supported him. The first campaign, which we did, I was there. It happened at Egbeda. Or in that bus terminal that we built at Egbeda. Later, we went to the Eli. I was there as well. We went to Bodija market. Ajimobi was there. Badela was there. Even Labu's wife was there. The first lady then was there too. Chief Miss Fodas Ajimobi. They went to Erua together. So some people look, people are not being fair when they said, and not only more support. I'm also aware of other support that were necessary and critical,
including financial support.
You can't rule out
from the state, coffers or personal coffers.
Personal financial support. You can't rule out money from our politics.
Asiwaju, your party was roundly beaten in that governorship election.
Yes.
It was an unprecedented defeat.
I agree.
What happened?
Too many factors.
Why did Adelabu lose?
Too many factors.
Because that was why people said Ajimobi did not support Adelabu 100%.
A combination of many factors.
They said Tegbe worked against him.
Ajimobi also lost. Didn't he lose?
So what happened?
Many factors. Lautech being one of them. Then the Ayefele Musica that was demolished. Look at my point.
You agree there was a mistake at that place too?
I said Ayefele, I'm not talking about the rightness or the wrongness of that. Then I told you that by December 2015, the economy of the country had gone down. Money was no longer coming in. Worker salary could not be met like before. Workers were no longer get training. Even to pay pension, it was not. So all of those things compared together.
Did you think
and also the umpire INEC worked against the ruling party.
Tell me about that. How did you think INEC in Oyo State?
They work against the ruling party.
How did you think? You just said something that is important. How did you think that happened? What did they do?
I'm telling you, it happened.
You think there was rigging?
They were sympathetic to the cost of PDP.
So what could they have done to help the PDP?
Level program. They didn't provide level program.
You were the ruling party at the state and at the national level.
Its politics is deeper than what you think. The more you look, the less you see.
But you blamed every other thing now. You are not speaking about the personality of Ajimobi. Could his personality also have affected it?
All those factors.
Could the mishandling of the Olubadan issue have affected the lot of APC?
Yes, very, very correct. But you are there. In 2011, when he contested, he won. The personality was there. In 2015, he contested, he won. The personality was there.
But maybe people got tired of the personality in 2019.
Politics is more of perception than reality. I don't know whether you've ever visited Bauchi State. Governor Muazu was governor of Bauchi between
Adamu Muazu
between 1999 to 2007. He turned Bauchi State around in terms of infrastructure. He constructed all the municipal roads, the intra-city roads, and not others. They were done by Joseph Baga. And he repaired school, he built a lot. When he contested for Senate, he lost 1/3 of the state. I work for the governor that succeeded him, Governor Yuguda, as one of his council in some president. And I asked him, Your Excellency, your predecessor in office worked this way. And when I go out, people will say, he was the best. And when he contested for Senate, he lost. Why? The man said, our people said they don't want road. They don't want schools. What they want is give us something.
Stomach infrastructure.
And he lost.
Recently, I have seen an increased activity in the media from APC party faithfuls. And then APC faithfuls, pardon, and even from admirers of Ajimobi like you. Now, you've been writing a lot of pieces to debunk claims that you said
a lot of lies
to some of Ajimobi's ideas.
A lot of lies. Let me give you one example. The PRO of the ruling party now, I've forgotten the gentleman's name.
Engineer Akim Olatunji
said that they just bought some buses for the state. Very commendable. Lofty idea. And he said this is the first time ever in this of your state that the government is buying buses. That the 100 buses of Ajimobi, those long buses, buses that they were given from Jonathan. I said, why, for God's sake? That is lie from the pit of hell. And good enough, constantly. Asiwaju Yemi Adebigbe, who was our special advisor on transport, traveled to South Korea to negotiate, paid, cleared, and brought those buses in. And constantly, Asiwaju Yemi Adebigbe is now special advisor to Governor Seyi Makinde on local government. Let them verify their facts. When they built the family court, say the governor said that Governor GSM tweeted that for the first time in the Oyo State, we've brought on board family court, which is not true. Ajimobi established family court. My successor in office, Olusegun Abimbola, Esquire SCN, latest senator now, midwife it. The only thing was that they couldn't commission it before they left. Look, government say continue. Ascribe if you
ascribe glory to whom it is due.
To whom it is due.
Or credit.
Look at that road, Makola to the road that passed, the Dwellers Road that passed through UCH up to Agodi. Otumade Makola started it. We only completed it. And when we commissioned it, we said this is a project initiated, funded, and paid for by Alakala. We only paid the last part, which was about 1/3 of the contract fee. Look, it's not fair. it is even too petty, and it shows that some people just don't know what governance itself means.
I'll take my final commercial break this morning. When I come back, one or two more questions to close the arguments using the language of lawyers now. To close the engagements, and then maybe a few phone calls before we draw the curtains. I'll be back. Please stay with me.
32 FM
94.9.
Breakfast your day every day with the nourishment of malt, milk and cocoa and the delicious taste of Milo.
Nestle, good food, good life.
ìtẹ̀síwájú nínú ìmọ̀ ló ń gbéni dókè téńté láwùjọ. Federal Cooperative College Ìbàdàn ti tẹ́ pẹpẹ ẹ̀kọ́ fún olúkúlùkù láti wá gba tiẹ̀. ó ti pẹ́ tá a ti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ Federal Cooperative College tí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ bẹ̀ sì ń ṣe dáadáa. bí ìpele ẹ̀kọ́ diploma ṣe wà ní National Diploma àti Higher National Diploma ń bẹ nínú àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ bíi Cooperative Economics and Management, Business Administration, Accounting, Marketing, Computer Science àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. tó o bá sáà ti ní credit 5 nínú English, Maths, Biology tàbí Agric Science àti àwọn iṣẹ́ méjì míì ó kéré tán 2 sitting nínú ìdánwò WAEC, GCE, NECO tàbí NAPTEP àjẹ́ wípé ó ti pérégedé láti ní admission sí Federal Cooperative College Ìbàdàn nìyẹn. ètò ìgbaniwọlé sí full time àti part time lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. ìwọ sáà ti tètè lọ gba fọ́ọ̀mù tiẹ̀ lónìí ní Federal Cooperative College lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ FANMIC Ẹlẹ́yẹlé Ìbàdàn 08038319232 tàbí 07038853407. Federal Cooperative College Ìbàdàn, ìgbésókè nínú ìmọ̀ ìwé.
ọdún kérésìmesì 2020 yìí ti kórè ayọ̀ wọlé ní plenty ìyẹn látàgbàlá Design Bricks Homes and Properties.
final last on point Christmas promo lélẹ́yìí operation wọlé kanlẹ̀ sílé ara rẹ ni kó o bọ́ lọ́wọ́ ogun tó fẹ́ sọlé kíkọ́ dé ìwọ̀ fún ọ.
wàrà ilẹ̀ tiẹ̀ báyìí sanwó lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo kí wọ́n sì bá ọ ṣe foundation ilé rẹ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ pẹ̀lú red copy survey lórí gbogbo ilẹ̀ wa tó wà ní Ìbàdàn, Abẹ́òkúta, Ṣàgámù àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
ǹjẹ́ tún ti gbọ́ nípa àǹfààní buy three get one ìyẹn ni pé kó o ra lẹ̀ plots 3 lásìkò kérésì yìí kó o sì gbà kan sí bí ènì. èyí ga ìròyìn ayọ̀ míì tún ni pé gbogbo oníbàárà Design Bricks tó bá gbìyànjú san bálàsì owó lẹ̀ wọn ni ó gba 5 bags of cement pẹ̀lú búlọ̀kù 100.
kò tí ì tán síbẹ̀ o, gbogbo oníbàárà tó bá tọ̀ wá lásìkò kérésì yìí yóò tún jẹ̀fà ẹ̀bùn ọdún bíi refrigerators, TV, ẹ̀rọ ata, pressing iron, polo shirt, face cap àti ọ̀pọ̀ tá a lè kà tán. kàn sí Design Bricks láwọn ọ́fíìsì wa tó wà lágbègbè rẹ tàbí kó pè wọ́n sórí ẹ̀rọ 09039375110
tàbí 08025424253.
àjọsọ àti àdéhùn bẹ́ o.
pẹ̀lú Design Bricks final lapse on point Christmas promo ọdún yìí ti dùn gan ni o.
gbogbo ará Ìbàdàn ẹ kú oríire. adùnbániralẹ̀ kọ́lé ayọ̀ Evertop Realties Limited ló tún gbé tuntun dé. wọ́n ní kò yẹ kí wọ́n náà má nílé lórí ni wọ́n fi sílẹ̀kùn àǹfààní ẹ̀dínwó fún gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ nílé tara tiwọn èyí tó ti ń lọ lọ́wọ́ tí ó sì wá sópin ní January 31, 2021 nínú estate wọn United Estate tó wà lólógún ẹrú extension lẹ́bàá ìdó local government nítòsí reluwé tuntun tó tẹ̀ kó wá síbàdàn. ẹni tó bá sanwó lẹ́ẹ̀kan 25% discount làǹfààní tó máa jẹ tí 15% discount sì wà fún gbogbo ẹni tó bá sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti wá ralẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀ma jẹ̀bùrà bàǹdẹ̀ bí odidi màálù tó tóbi tán gas cooker deep freezer àpò rẹsì adìyẹ tó fi mọ́ òróró àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ntẹ́nu ń jẹ la fi ní ẹ̀kọ́ sí wọn lónìí ní Evertop Realties Limited tó wà ní 6265 Adékúnlé Fájú Road Adámàsìgbà Ìbàdàn tàbí ká pè 08022266806 tàbí 08056148303. ẹ sì lè pe ambassador Evertop Realties Limited Abídèmí Kòsọ́kọ́ sórí 07062132696 website www.evertoprealtiesltd.com. Evertop Realties Limited lóní owó àgbà kọ́kọ́rọ́ ilé tiẹ̀ lọ́dún 2021.
All right, let me ask 2 more questions and that would be it. Ashwaju, could you tell me 1 minute, because this question has been asked in different forms, at different fora, and I have always asked myself too, and since you are here, why don't I ask you? What would you say was the major philosophical thrust of Ajimobi as a person and Ajimobi as a governor?
Good, thank you. The major philosophical thrust of Ajimobi as a person is that let me try to get his quote on that. He said, you make a life when you give, something like that. I can't really get it, but
you can explain it.
I can explain it. That when you take for somebody, you are not making life. You are not developing. But when you give and empower, you are developing a person. Look at my point. And he also believed that at all times, till we enter our grave, you must always and constantly seek knowledge. That's one. Another one. Also that, personally, when you help any people with your personal resources, not government owned, you must not allow the third party to know about it at all. Third party to know about it at all. And lastly, he said, we are in this world to serve humanity, mankind, and also that you must worship your God at all times. We say you must connect with your creature. You must always connect. That there must not be a disconnect between you and your creature. Then, as governor, his trust as a governor is that he said that his quote is all over. Is all that a leader must take his people to where they want to be. That a leader must take his people to where they want to be. But a good leader must take his people to where they ought to be.
Okay.
That is his trust.
The final question today. Ajimobi fought many political battles.
Yes.
In 2015, he retired Senator Rashidi Ladoja from active politics by defeating him at the polls.
He defeated him.
Now,
Baba is still in politics. He just
recently. I'm talking about active politics in the sense of contesting.
Okay.
In the sense of contesting,
active role.
of course, in the sense of contesting.
Yes, he retired him.
He did same to Alawa Akala.
Yes, he retired him as well.
Then he stylishly eviscerated Adebayo Shitu, the man who is popularly called the inconsequential minister. That look on your face. People are watching you on YouTube. Yes. You had a look on your face when I said inconsequential minister. Now, was Ajimobi an underrated politician?
Yes.
The way he went about,
God bless you,
kicking out big guns.
People underrated him a lot. But believe me, Archipelago, that's his nickname, was a master strategist. You know, he was a very thorough person, and with eyes for minutest of the details. No matter how little or weak a point is, my Oga will never overlook it.
So he was strategic in kicking out those people.
You see, if you look at him, or like many others, they have the antenna of their campaign. Have you ever heard of that? He was always the antenna of his campaign.
But his strategy failed him when he needed to go to the Senate.
He was the general of his own campaign.
But his strategy, he was a master strategist. But the strategy failed him when he needed to go to the Senate. The strategy failed Adelabu.
That's why you win some, you lose some. That's part of life. You don't win at all times.
You can call me on 090620949. I can take one or two calls. 08097,949. What did you think of the late Governor Abiola Ajimobi? What do you think of the discussion we've had about him today? Asiwaju Mutalibu Ojo is still here with me. 090620949 and 08097,949. You can have your say. I can take one or two calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the station. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Nii. I'm calling from Ibadan.
Okay, you have 1 minute, Nii. Go ahead.
Like every human being, we are not perfect, but came down from his vehicle under the bridge at Mokola roundabout. He told those who were standing under the bridge that, oh, I warned you. You're causing unnecessary traffic here. Next time I find you, I'm going to take care of myself. And he actually did that. You know, I'm the kind of governor. The action man. So disciplined, he believes that governance should not be mixed with politics. This is the right thing. The law. This is the law of the state. It must be implemented, not that you try to appeal to the emotions of people.
Yeah.
Give it to Ajimobi.
Thank you, Nee. Thank you. I appreciate your call. 09062,949 and 08097,949. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Sean.
Thank you for calling. Okay, I'm trying to pick the name. Thank you for the kind words. Your name. Thank you. Thank you very much. You didn't tell us your name and where you're calling from. Okay, go ahead.
That's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Thank you. Let me thanks so much for that great compliment.
10 seconds, actually. We need to go.
We must not compromise quality by any means whatsoever. He was always go for quality. He wanted the best, only the best for your state.
Asiwaju with Alibu Ojo Adebayo, I'm very grateful you obliged. The invitation came very late and it's cheering to have you in the studios.
My brother, I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, and that was the show this morning. My name is Hezekiah Oluwaseun Akinrinde. Do you want to talk to me? You can reach me on Twitter at Omo Akinrinde. That's my handle on Twitter at Omo Akinrinde. And you can call me on 070-3305-2407. 070-3305-2407. Thank you for staying with me today. Catch you on Gospel Cruise at 6 p.m. tomorrow. I wish you a very beautiful weekend. Good morning.
32 FM
94.9.
ẹ tẹ́tí sí ìkéde pàtàkì yìí salamu alaikum wa rahmatulah à ń fẹ́ àsìkò yìí pé gbogbo ènìyàn síbi ayẹyẹ wíwé láwàní fún imam abdullahi abdulrasheed babatunde bòṣèré gẹ́gẹ́ bí imam àgbà fún mọ́ṣáláṣí ńlá ayégbàmí alájíkí àpáta ìbàdàn láti ọwọ́ imam àgbálẹ̀ ìbàdàn bàbá wa fọdílátù sheikh abdulgani abubakar agbọ́tọmọ kékeré tí àwọn èèkàn àfà yóò sì wá ń kalẹ̀ láti kí bàbá wa káàbọ̀ àwọn àgbààfà bíi khalifa zakaria ọlábàmíjí imam aisa mustapha tí wọ́n jẹ́ imam àgbà fún mọ́ṣáláṣí láti àpáta